Shen Wenlang's company was full of energy that night. Lights sparkled across the hall. Laughter echoed from table to table, and champagne glasses clinked in celebration. Everyone seemed happy and carefree, enjoying the dinner party. Amid all the noise and joy, Gao Tu stood quietly, observing from the background. To others, he looked like a calm, reliable beta secretary, someone who did his work without fuss. But beneath that calm exterior, Gao Tu carried a secret no one knew. He was an Omega, and he had loved Shen Wenlang for over 10 years, since their school days, without ever confessing. Every day he spent near Wenlang was precious to him. Every smile, every glance, every shared moment was something he held close to his heart. He knew Shen Wenlang despised Omegas and would never love one. He knew the truth could never be shared, yet he chose to stay, to protect Wenlang, to be near him, even if it meant hiding who he really was. Even if he could never be loved in return, being close to Wenlang was enough. Every small interaction, every ordinary moment at work, was a quiet joy he cherished deeply. But fate had other plans that night. Shen Wenlang drank more than usual, losing the perfect composure he always carried. The proud, controlled alpha everyone admired was now careless, stumbling slightly, laughing louder than normal, and in that haze of alcohol, he reached out, pulled Gao Tu close. Wenlang didn't know who he held. He didn't recognize the person he was touching. Gao Tu, equally shaken but fully aware, felt his heart race. For a decade he had waited for this, yet it terrified him. The man he had loved for so long was finally in his arms, even if Wenlang didn't know it. That night changed everything. Gao Tu's Omega nature responded immediately. The intimate contact, combined with his deep emotions, meant that by morning he realized he was pregnant. A storm of joy and fear took over him. Joy, because a part of Shen Wenlang, the man he had loved silently for 10 years, was now inside him. Fear, because he knew exactly how Wenlang felt about Omegas, about pregnancy, and about control. He knew that if the truth ever came out, the consequences could be deadly. His heart pounded with worry, but the child growing inside him became a symbol of hope. A fragile but precious connection. Days passed, and Gao Tu could no longer contain his fear. He had to know Wenlang's thoughts, but asking meant risking everything. He approached him carefully, his voice trembling, and asked, "What would you do if your Omega fell pregnant?" Wenlang's answer was cold and sharp. "Of course, get rid of it." Those words cut Gao Tu's heart deeply. He understood immediately that Wenlang would not hesitate to act. Panic and terror consumed him. The unborn child, the life that was now part of him, was too precious to risk. He had no choice but to flee to protect both the child and himself. With a heavy heart, Gao Tu resigned and disappeared. He vanished without a trace, leaving Wenlang in confusion and longing. Days turned into weeks, and Wenlang felt the absence of his secretary more acutely than he wanted to admit. The desk that had once been neatly filled now sat empty. Reports went unfinished. The calm, quiet presence that had grounded him at work was gone. He told himself it was just a secretary leaving, but deep inside, he felt an emptiness he couldn't ignore, a longing he couldn't explain. Meanwhile, Gao Tu's pregnancy was risky. Omegas need their mates to help sustain the pregnancy. Pheromones, closeness, and care make the process safer and easier. But Gao Tu had run, hiding from Wenlang, and that made his pregnancy dangerous. His body weakened, the doctors warned him repeatedly, and even advised termination to save his life. But Gao Tu refused. The child, the hope it represented, was worth the risk. Every day was a struggle to survive. Every breath a reminder of the sacrifice he was making for the life inside him. Even while he ran, his heart ached. He missed Shen Wenlang, longed for his presence, and yet could not return. And for Wenlang, the emptiness was unbearable. He searched, wondering where his secretary had gone, feeling the weight of his absence in every empty office corridor. Little did he know, the Omega he despised and overlooked, the one he had once drunkenly reached for, was carrying his child, and his own actions had forced Gao Tu to vanish. The irony of it cut deeper than he could imagine. Their story is one of fear, longing, and devotion. It is about love kept secret, sacrifice made quietly, and the pain of distance. Fate had tied them together in a way neither could escape. Gao Tu ran to protect life and love. Wenlang searched for answers, unaware of the truth. Yet, no matter how far they were apart, their bond remained unbroken. The child inside Gao Tu, the connection between them, was proof that destiny had already set their paths together. Shen Wenlang and Gao Tu's journey is far from over. It is filled with questions, heartbreak, and longing. Will Wenlang ever learn the truth? Can Gao Tu survive the pregnancy and the fear of being discovered? Can their love survive the mistakes, the secrets, and the distance that separates them? These questions linger, teasing the future and keeping the heart of the story alive, full of tension, suspense, and hope. Even as Gao Tu ran and hid, he could not escape his feelings. Every quiet night, every empty room reminded him of Wenlang's presence, and the moments they had shared. However brief, he thought about the warmth of Wenlang's touch that night, the unintentional closeness that had changed everything. Fear battled with longing inside him. He knew staying away was necessary to protect the child, yet his heart ached with the love he could not show. Every step he took, every hiding place he found, was a constant reminder of the man he loved more than anything. The pangs of missing Wenlang were sharper than the physical discomfort of his risky pregnancy. He whispered the alpha's name in quiet moments, hoping somehow Wenlang would know, feeling a connection even across the distance. The child growing inside him became a symbol of both hope and a dangerous secret, a bond that could never be erased. And yet, in the quietest moments, Gao Tu dreamed of the day he could return, of the day he could reveal the truth without fear, and of the day he could finally be with the man who had unknowingly captured his heart.